What's up, YouTube? Tristan here with Team Red Knight Yu-Gi-Oh! And the ban list dropped yesterday, so it's time for a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile. So we'll get started. So of course you got your three Blue Eyes White Dragons. Beat stick, you need three of them. It's mandatory. Yada yada. It's a vanilla. Three alternative. It's a free monster pop every single turn. It's a free summon. Like, this card's so ridiculous. Like, in the future, this card will probably go to 1. I will not be surprised. And then we got 2 Dragon Spirit of White. Really good card. Just being able to banish any back row your opponent has is just pretty good. And 2500 isn't too bad of an attack. So that's it for the dragons. That's pretty standard. Next up, we got 3 Sage. Sage is Sage. You get to search for any level 1 light tuner in your deck, and then you can pitch it to the grave and send an effect monster you control to the grave, and you get to summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck. So, pretty good. You got your 3 White Stone of Ancients. The second effect, where it can banish itself to add a Blue Eyes monster from your graveyard to your hand, is just so freaking good. Like, this is the reason why Blue Eyes is so amazing, because they can actually have a grind game, and it's just amazing. And its first effect is good too, where when it's sent to the grave that turn, you can summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck, and they stack. So, I mean, if you sent all 3 in one turn, then you get 3. And finally, for the last level 1 light tuner, 1 White Stone of Legend. Most people run 1. It's a pretty good card. Just being able to get sent to the grave whenever you need a Blue Eyes, it's pretty easy in this deck, so I like it a lot. Next up, for my little mini engine, I run 3 Galaxy Soldiers. Cyber Dragon Infinity is a card, and that card is amazing. Not much else to say. And then your whole deck is light monsters, so it just synergizes so well. So I really love this engine. Next up, we got 2 Max C. Rip Max C went to 2. I literally just bought a 3rd secret one the other day, and now it's at 2, so kind of sad about that, but it's still Max C. Still run it if you have them. And of course, your 1 Effect Veiler, because it's searchable in the deck, and it's Effect Veiler, which is actually pretty good this format. So that's it for the monsters. Up for the spells, we have our Draw Engine, which is 3 Trade-In, 1 Cards of Consonance, and 2 Pot of Desires. So Pot of Desires is the craziest card ever. People either love it or they hate it. I personally love it. It just extends your plays, and if you have a bad hand, it can make it good. If you have a good hand, it can make it great. If you have a great hand, you're gonna win. And then I only run 1 Cards of Consonance just because you only have 4 targets for it, and usually you get rid of, like, you mill them or send them to the grave somehow. So usually it doesn't come up that often. And then the 3 Trade-In because you run a bunch of level 8 dragons. Next up, we have our revival spells. So 3 Return of the Dragon Lords. Wish it was gospel, but it's not. It's amazing. Special summon from your graveyard, level 7 or 8 dragon, and then it can protect all your dragons, so it's really good. 2 Silver's Cry. You have 5 targets, so I would only run 2. So, I mean, it's a good card. You can use it during the battle phase and stuff, or during your opponent's end phase. 1 Soul Charge. If you open this up turn 1 with a pretty decent hand, you're going to have an amazing field. So that's it for the revival spells. And then I run 1 Dragon Shrine and 1 Foolish Burial because you like dragons in your graveyard, and these cards allow you to do it. I see people running 2 Dragon Shrines and even 3, but it is only once per turn, and if you have multiples of those in your hand, it is so unbelievably dead. So I suggest only running 1. Next up, I run 2 Melody. So this is where I kind of go off compared to other people. Most people run 3, but you can't resolve 3. And even though you do run 2 Pot of Desires and you have the chance of banishing 2 of these, usually you can open this up right away, and I don't know, I just don't like 3, but I'm testing it out and it's decent sometimes and sometimes it's really bad, but it's really up to your personal preference. And then to round things off, I run 2 Twin Twisters and 1 Raigeki for our destruction spells. Raigeki is just so ridiculous in this deck because you just run a bunch of big beat sticks. And then Twin Twisters, you don't want to run into, especially since Card Demise didn't get hit, there's going to be a lot more Demise decks like Klee Demise, Cosmo Demise, Yosenju Demise. So people are going to be running lots of traps, so it's still very important to run Twin Twister. And finally, for your traps, 1 Solemn Warning and 1 Vanity's Emptiness. We are running a 42 card deck. With Pot of Desires, you kind of want as many cards as you can have. And I believe 42 right now is not bricky whatsoever, and I'm not having any issues with it. So, I mean, and also these are great traps, some of the best traps in the game. So up next for our extra deck, we have our awesome token. We run 2 Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. Negate any effect in the grave is amazing. You can't Pendulum Summon, you can't play Psyframes against this, and then it can dodge effects and summon your other guys. I run 2 Azure Eyes. A lot of people only run 1, but I have had times where I've gone into 2, so I just like the option of having it. And then for our Crystal Wing combo, we have our 2 targets, Black Rose Moonlight and Michael, and the 1 Crystal Wing. Crystal Wing's amazing in this deck. And then another thing I like to do is, like, let's say you have Spirit on field and then they are trying to like Xyz summon or like they fusion summon or synchro summon, just on their turn go into Moonlight and just bounce whatever they just did and they just lose everything. It's pretty fun. So that's it for my synchros. Next up for my Xyz, I run the 1 Nova and 1 Infinity for our Galaxy Soldier. Infinity is just amazing. 1 number 46. That's for the Blue Eyes Mirror Match. It's just a really freaking good card. 1 Felgrand. It's good against F-Zero. That's like my out. So it's really good. 1 number 38. Possibly the best rank 8 in the game right now. Being able to negate any spell. And then I run the Galaxy Eyes engine. So 1 Cypher, 1 Full Armor, and 1 number 95. Cypher is really good. You can steal an opponent's monster, and then if it's an Xyz monster, you can actually put Full Armor on top of it, and then do your whole combo, and then he can attack your opponent directly. So I really, really like it. And finally, for the side deck, the side deck's still a work in progress, just because the format literally just started, or it's starting on Monday. So it's a work in progress, but this is what I got so far. So 2 Quakimaru Dragu. It's good against Burning Abyss, good against Blue Eyes. Good against the remnants of what is Monarchs, RIP Monarchs. 1 Dragon Spirit of White, just for that extra back row. 1 Effect Veiler, just for certain matchups, you can just side it in if they have a lot of normal summons. And then 2 Flying Seas. One of these was a Maxi, but I'm figuring since Burning Abyss is still pretty decently viable, you just side in 2 of these, so you have 2 Maxis and 2 Flying Seas. And you can take out like an Effect Veiler in the main deck, and then you can just stop them from Xyz summoning, and you can also side this in against Blue Eyes, since half their extra deck is Xyz monsters. So that's it for the monsters. I run 2 Prohibition. You could just stop your opponent from like floodgating you or whatever. 2 System Downs, that's for Cosmo, and then also ABCs when they do come out. That's it for the spells. And then for a little spicy tech, I do run 2 Retort. So this is for the mirror match. If you don't know what it does, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card with the same name as one in your graveyard, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. Then you can add a card with the same name. So you can add back Raigeki, you can add back Return of the Dragon Lord. So whatever your power play spells are, like in a mirror match, it's just freaking amazing. And then 3 anti-spells, because Blue Eyes runs a lot of spells. Pendulums is still going to be kind of a thing, like with Metal Foes. And, I mean, it's just an amazing card. So, that's the deck profile. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And also, look forward to a lot more content coming out with the new ban list. We're going to be pumping out a lot of deck profiles and duel videos. So, we'll see you soon.